Hello guys and welcome back to SWTOR Central. My name is Sam and I'm going to be reviewing the HK-55 bonus chapter that we had. It wasn't very good. Okay guys, so I'm sure you're probably wondering why I've got the camera out, and to be honest, it's probably just because I kind of like doing this sometimes. I don't really do it very often, so why the hell not, right? Okay, so the new HK-55 bonus chapter was released today, and I'll try to get this, well, it's going to be on screen right now, so you'll be watching it. I'm not, I'm just staring at my desktop for some reason. So the chapter came out today, or yesterday, I guess, since this isn't going to be uploaded until tomorrow, which was, that's confusing. I'm just going to stop there. Okay, the chapter came out, and that's the point, okay? So I did have access to the chapter because I was subbed for the amount of months that was required. I think it was 6 months. Was it 6 months or 8 months? No, I'm going to double check on that, but just throughout the video I'm just going to say 6 months because I'm fairly certain it was 6 months. Okay, so I downloaded my patch earlier, which actually didn't take that long for some reason. I don't know why, even though we had 2 hours extension on the patch as well, which really sucked, especially for me because I live in the UK. So by the time the patch was done, it was already like 7 p.m. so I had like to rush everything, which is why I was very disappointed when I came on to see that there was just lag everywhere. Like not in like the main areas or anything like that, just in the area that the chapter was in, the place called the Coil. The lag there was immense. Okay, we'll say that now. All right, the lag was crazy. I even uploaded a video, just kind of, you know, being sarcastic, I guess, just called. I'm looking at it now. HK bonus chapter Shroud of Lag. I don't know. I guess it was funny or something. Explitalis had the same problem as well. I saw his video as well. So yeah, it's fair to say that the chapter is definitely full of people playing it. Now, was the chapter actually any good? And that's the question, isn't it? Okay, so for anybody who wants to play this chapter themselves and doesn't want any spoilers, you should probably ask yourself why you clicked on this video, because this is a review of that chapter. So if you don't want any spoilers, then don't continue watching, okay? Because I'm probably going to mention spoilers at some point. I will try to say spoilers when I'm going to say something that is potentially a spoiler, I guess. But if I don't, you've already been warned, so don't blame me, okay? I mean, there's also going to be footage in the background as well, so I guess that could also be considered spoilers. Okay, so I'm just going to take out of the equation the lag, okay? Because there was a lot of people playing, so there was a lot of load on the server, and usually this does happen. Like this happened as well when they brought out Shadow of Revan. Anybody who was playing around that point, there was immense lag just because there were so many people on, like doing Rishi or whatever. So we're just going to take lag out of the review because I want to review the chapter, okay? So let's talk about the gameplay of the chapter, okay? Because we get to play as HK-55, okay? So that's got to be special, right? Well, no, it wasn't, okay? I was expecting like new interface, like whole new ability set, which we did get, I guess, but there was still like pretty much the same as his companion abilities, just slight variations on them, I guess. Now, usually when I'm saying stuff about Star Wars: The Old Republic, I'm quite favored to Star Wars: The Old Republic, like not in a biased way, just because, you know, I see things from a different perspective. I like to look at the positive and try to reflect the positives onto the negatives. But this time around, I can't do that, okay? So for anybody who thinks I give too much credit to Star Wars: The Old Republic, then in this video, that is just not going to happen at all, because I'm incredibly disappointed with this chapter, okay? Now, there was only a couple of things I liked about this chapter, and we'll get into that as we go. I'll just quickly say as well, sorry if I'm like looking like between like everywhere, because I'm not really used to having the camera out. So if I'm just looking in random places, just pretend I'm looking at you, okay? Because I want to look at you. That sounded a little bit weird, I guess. I mean, you're looking at me, so I guess it's only fair, so there you go. So no, we didn't get a new interface. In fact, my interface was actually messed up, because usually I have it really small, so as soon as I loaded in, it was like really tiny with all these new abilities, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to look through this, and then trying to cipher through those when I've been immediately put into combat and look through my new abilities with the amount of lag that I had, it was, you know, it's pretty insane. But you know, again, it was taking lag out of it. We'll forget about the lag for now, okay? So throughout the entire gameplay of the chapter, it was not very special at all. Like, I really hoped that it would be special. I mean, I know like the first 15 minutes or so was on was it Gamer Spot or something like that, and I saw it there, so I guess I kind of spoiled it for myself. But still, just I was expecting like just something really special, you know, playing as HK, you know, like a whole new like interface or something like that. I don't know, they could have done like a droid interface. I don't know, could have done something with it at least. You know, like even the name on your player frame, it just said your character's name. Do you know, like if you was logging into like your character that's called, you know, Putang, when you're playing as HK, you're still called Putang. And that's really weird. Like, why couldn't it have just said HK-55? I don't know. I'm nitpicking, I know, but it was there, okay? Now, I guess one thing I guess is a positive is that we wasn't fighting hordes of sky troopers. So I guess that's kind of a positive. But at the same time, it's a negative because we were fighting hordes of mercenaries instead. Literally, every corner you go around was just mercenaries, 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 and then you're just fighting waves of trash throughout the entire thing. That is pretty much the chapter summed up. Just waves of trash with a couple of cool cutscenes along the way. So as for the gameplay as a total review or whatever, you know, it gets a massive thumbs down because I was not impressed. There wasn't enough new stuff there, I guess. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more special. I really thought it was going to feel a lot more special, but it just wasn't. So I don't know, maybe I set my expectations too high, but whatever. Let's get to the cutscenes, okay? So the cutscenes that we had, or the cinematics, or whatever you want to call them, they were actually pretty funny, I guess. You know, it was witty, and it's the type of sarcasm you'd expect HK to come out with, especially the HK-55 model. He tends to be quite sarcastic, like a lot tamer than like what HK-47 was, but still quite witty. So I'll give the cutscenes probably like a 5 out of 10, simply because of the cutscene that we had with a janitor. There was a janitor that comes out walking through a door, and you sort of like, you're pointing a blaster at his head, and he's like, oh, I'm just the janitor, and this is my vibro mop, and it's just like, wow. Okay. So some of it was pretty funny, just, you know, not all of it. It's pretty much just all your typical HK stuff, like what you would expect him to say. We also got to have like a little talk with HK-47, or a replica of HK-47. I guess that was kind of cool. I mean, I guess especially for the people who were, you know, KOTOR fans and HK-47 fans, you know, it's cool to be able to interact with him at least. I mean, the conversation wasn't exactly interesting. You were just basically telling him that he's only a head and doesn't have a chassis, you know. That was like pretty much it. So yeah, again, for the cutscenes, I'll just go like a 4 or maybe 5 out of 10. They were funny. Some of them weren't as funny, but yeah, we'll go with that. They were okay-ish, okay? Okay, now moving on to the story of the chapter. Okay, so the story was kind of alright, I guess. It didn't make too much sense to me because we never actually found out what the Shroud's ultimate goal was, except he says something in a hollow journal log or something like that about taking over the galaxy and being in control of it, and it was like, yeah, but like how was he going to do that? Doesn't really explain very well. I don't know, maybe some of the things could have been explained a lot better, but the plot twist that's in there, I mean, I won't spoil it fully because it does have a plot twist at the end, and I guess it's kind of okay. I'm not gonna lie, I half expected something like that to happen. I mean, I didn't expect it fully, like I was surprised when it happened, but I was expecting something along those lines to happen. You know, this story isn't going where you think it's going to go. You know, something's going to happen. Plot twist. So we'll give the story maybe like a 7 out of 10, I guess. I mean, it wasn't as good as chapter 16 or maybe like chapter 12, Visions in the Dark. I mean, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that because I really liked Visions in the Dark, at least like the first half of it. And a lot of people just don't like it altogether. But that's a completely different story, so let's just put that to bed and forget about it, okay? Okay, so we've got the gameplay slash combat, I guess, you know, terrible, okay? It wasn't impressive and did not exceed my expectations, okay? Then we've got the cutscenes. The cutscenes were okay, some were funny, some were not. And then we've got the story. The story was kind of good, but it's not the best story that I've had in the game, but what can we really expect from one chapter, I guess? But that's going to end this video, guys, and I guess it was nice to see you. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.